Oxford's population varies with the seasonal ebb and flow of students, some 5,500 of them from overseas. But a more permanent population change resulted from the forward-thinking activities of a humble bicycle repairman. William Morris opened his cycle shop in Oxford's town centre in 1892. By 1925, he was making 41% of all Britain's cars at his Cowley factory, now a Rover plant. The business continued to expand, and many of the people invited over from the West Indies in the 1950s and 60s found themselves at Cowley, building cars such as the Morris Minor and the Mini. Pianist Pat Thomas's father was one of them. So who worked here? Your dad?
My dad and my brother still work here.
Yeah?
Still works here.
Well, your brother does. Is your dad? Is your dad?
He's sort of he's retired now.
Yeah. Notice that I'm standing on the pavement to make myself seem as tall as you, Pat. I'm not a fool. Pat Thomas is a seriously versatile pianist who in his 38 years has played everything from classical and jazz to swing beat and hip-hop. His latest project is an experimental jazz jungle album, released rather bizarrely by a label based in Hawaii. Pat and I walked up to the Morris Motors Athletic and Social Club, where Pat used to play cricket, to have a drink. Since the car factory scaled down its operation, the club has suffered. Its membership down from 12,000 to only 4,000.
I started when I was 8, and what had happened, basically I was watching the TV, and this is really corny. Liberace was on the box. Great big, you know these, so you're about 7, and you see this fantastic thing, I didn't even know what it was. Candles everywhere, lights everywhere, and there's this guy sort of just playing it. And I said, I want to play that. So I started, you know, you start sort of pretending you've got this great big instrument. And our mother noticed that I kept doing all this all the time, and she goes, would you like to play the piano? And at the time I didn't know what it, I said, yeah, I'd like to play the piano. But the sort of pianos you get to see weren't quite the same. You could get the old upright, right. You get this upright piano and no candles or anything.
When did you first play, as it were, outside the home? Yeah.
I think my first outside gig would have been about 12, 13. The school orchestra had to do something at the town hall.
I mean, did you play classical stuff as well?
Yeah, I was doing the Mozart and all that stuff, yeah. And then about 16, I saw Oscar Peterson on the box. Sort of being a black player and that, suddenly seeing this a black piano player, was sort of, that was the first thing that probably attracted me, and he's playing this jazz stuff. And
being taken seriously, too.
Yeah.
The Morris Motors Athletic and Social Club's finest sporting days might be over, but a little way up the road is another sporting establishment that's hanging in there. I'm off up there to indulge in one of my favourite activities, covering myself in essence of banana and being licked by spaniels. Just kidding. It's scrumptious being here at Oxford United's Manor Road, of course, but in fact I'm not here to see a match. I'm here to witness a gig at the Manor Club. I've come to see the Samurai 7, who've been together a year, played over 60 gigs, and have just released their first single on Oxford label Shifty Disco, a version of this storming tune. Sadly, though, the Manor Club and the ground itself won't be around much longer. What is supposed to happen? Has this already been sold?
It's been sold to housing developers or something. So that's the thing, we're technically
It's heartbreaking, yeah. It is heartbreaking. It's actually, I mean, the thing is, I've never been here before. What a great ground it is.
The pitch is in good condition. Yeah. It's got a bit of a slope.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it is that the away fans get soaked every time it rains.
Yeah.
I asked the first person I met, really, who was a drummer. I've known Chris for a while, and he was a drummer. And we met Jimmy at a party, and I persuaded him to play bass, and that was it. I sort of had a band. So the other thing about Jimmy when we met him at the party was he he downed a bottle of Advocat and was sick down his suit, and I mean it was the least rock and roll thing you could do. So I thought, he's in.
Yeah, it was quite cool to like down a bottle of liquor. But if it'd been like whiskey or gin,
it would have been, oh no, how rock. But I mean,
but in fact it's like a kind of this sort of eggy girls drink, and it all came out again.
Egg-based.
Eggy girls drink, the title of the first LP.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be sexist.
No, you would be
yes,
accused of
eggist.
eggist.